What if Goku landed in the past? Goku is traveling through space on his way to Earth, but suddenly he runs into a wormhole. It slowly pulls him in. As Goku enters the hole, time begins to pass, but not in the normal way. It begins to transfer him backwards in time. The wormhole eventually spits him out 50 years beyond schedule. The age 699. The ship redirects Goku back to Earth, and Goku crashes in the same exact spot from the original series. A man is building his house in Mount Palju and hears a crash nearby, and leaves his post to check out the sound. The man sees a large crater in the ground, a spherical object in the center of it. He looks inside, and it's a baby. The man doesn't hesitate. He picks up the whole ship and brings it back to his house. The man opens the ship and picks the child up. "Hey son, my name's Gohan, but you can call me Dad." And from that day on, Gohan raises Goku to know him as his father. In this What If, Goku does hit his head, but not as bad as in the original series. When he wakes up from the injury, he isn't rowdy anymore, but he still remembers and knows who he is, and where he came from in general. Gohan never failed to mention to Goku that he has a great destiny, beyond what he himself knows. When Goku went into the Zaru form for the first time, Gohan quickly analyzed that the giant ape was Goku. He evaluated that Goku's weak point in his tail, and the only way to stop his monstrous pursuit is to cut it off. Gohan and Goku trained every day for years. Goku's power level will be around 140 when he becomes 11 years old, so this is about a year later, age 712. This Gohan is way more agile and stronger, since he's younger, so there's way more of a strength development between the two. Sometimes Goku occasionally trains his tail, trying to get a higher mastery on the Zaru form. Gohan is always asking Goku, does he ever want to go back to his planet? But Goku always avoids the question. One day while the two are training, they hear a sound. They follow and it turns out to be Goku's space pod. There are voices coming from the speaker. Goku is confused. He says, "This is weird. This has never happened before, Dad." "Well, it has happened one time before, son, but you were a baby." Goku yells, "It happened before? And you never decided to mention it to me?" "I never thought nothing of it. It was in the back of my mind for years." Well, okay. What did they say?" Gohan is about to speak, but the two are interrupted. "Yeah, her name's Gine. I've been having my eyes on her for a while." A man responds, "Bardock, you'll never get her. She's one beat, I'll tell you." The two start laughing, and then the sound cuts out. Goku says, Dad, that voice sounds very familiar." Gohan looks at Goku. It sounds like my father." "Father? Are you sure, Goku?" Goku nods his head. "I'm absolutely sure." Gohan picks up the spaceship. "Follow me, Goku." Goku follows Gohan and he is confused on where they're going. Anytime Goku asks where they're going, Gohan responds, "You'll see." Eventually they end up in a city. There are flashing lights, moving metal machines, and so much people. Goku has never seen this before. Gohan says, "Goku, we're almost there." A little more time passes and they finally finish their journey. Gohan drops the spaceship right in front of a small building. It has a giant sign on it that says, "Briefs Bionics." "Dad, what's Brief Bionics?" "It's a company owned by one of my, I guess you can say, old acquaintances." The two knock on the door, and a woman opens it. "Oh my gosh, is that you, Gohan? You have not aged a day." "I could say the same for you, Mrs. Briefs." Dr. Briefs walks in and asks, "What are you guys doing here?" Gohan picks up the spaceship and explains the rest. "Let me get this straight. So you're telling me you want me to rearrange the parts and make it into a bigger spaceship?" Gohan nods his head. Dr. Brief responds, "Well, of course I'll do it. I'm already in a good mood because I created something revolutionary. It's capsules that hold in objects that make them easy to travel with. I think this will make me billions. Gohan, do you hear me? Billions. Anyway, let's get to it." Dr. Brief starts working on the ship, and he says, "These parts are super advanced. It should be done by next year or so." Gohan and Goku wait patiently, roaming around West City. They find a flyer with Master Roshi's face on it. It reads, "Come and fight the world champion at the next tournament." Goku looks at it. "Dad, can I fight in the next tournament?" Gohan responds, "That's my old master. He used to train me. I actually just finished training only a month before you dropped into my life." Get it? Dropped because you fell. Okay, never mind. We need to get some training done. Goku and Gohan trained every day for a whole year. Gohan was teaching Goku how to control his weak point. Goku no longer had the problem of someone grabbing his tail. He even learned how to use it in combat. Goku's power level at this time would be around the 200 mark. I say this since in Dragon Ball, when they're training for a specific goal, they get stronger, versus when they're training casually. The two head to the tournament. Gohan is chilling because he knows there's no full moon after transforming Goku to Rosario state. When they get there, they see hundreds of contestants. Goku battles through all of them, and eventually he makes it past the preliminary rounds. He gets through the rounds fighting, beating many different opponents like Baragon, Devilman, and Bacterian, eventually leading down to him and Roshi. At this time, Roshi has no emotional ties to Goku, so he won't hold back. The two start fighting. Goku comes in strong, landing a multitude of blows. This takes Roshi aback, since he's never fought an opponent so strong and so quick. He's being put against the fence. As a last-ditch effort to save his skin, Roshi uses the Thunder Shock Surprise. This catches Goku off guard and leaves him immobile. Suddenly, Goku's eyes turn red. Gohan looks up in the sky, and there's a full moon. He internally says to himself, "But how?" Goku starts to transform. Gohan is wondering what his next move will be. He knows if he chops off Goku's tail, it'll disqualify him. He contemplates on what to do next, but suddenly he hears, Yes! Yes, I did it!" Gohan looks up. "Dad, do you see me? I can control the ape form." With Goku being fully conscious in this state, he easily makes a waste of Roshi and wins the match. Gohan is proud of his son, but still confused why there's a full moon in the sky. He looks at it even harder, and it turns out to be a projection. The duo follows the beam of light and it leads them to a giant building called Capsule Corp. Gohan knocks, and surprising to them, Dr. Briefs answers the door. Gohan says, "Dr. Briefs, what is this moon projection coming from your building?" "Oh, and before you explain, can you turn it off?" Dr. Briefs turns off the projection in response. "Oh, that came from the ship. It was pretty cool, so I decided to turn it into a giant flashlight. For romantic dates, with me and my new wife." Dr. Brief shows him inside, and it's a giant rocket ship. Goku runs up to the ship. He's like, "Whoa, is this my old ship? Seriously?" Dr. Brief responds, "Yep, took me a little while, but I got it all together." Gohan says, "Goku, ask him to build your spaceship because we're going to be going to your home planet." Goku looks at Gohan and is speechless. When he's finally able to get a word out, he says, I don't know if I can do this. What if they don't like me? I wasn't raised around my people, and the only ones I ever saw were my parents, and that was briefly. What if I'm too weak? They might..." Gohan cuts Goku off. "Son, you are strong, and I'm sure they'll love you. Plus, if you do want to train on the way there, we surely can." Suddenly, out of nowhere, Roshi says, "On the way where?" Gohan explains everything. Roshi decides he wants to go too. Dr. Brief says, "One last thing, I put a gravity chamber in there. You know you don't want to be floating off into space. It goes all the way up to 300 times gravity. Sorry, and one last thing. It will take 7 months to get to the planet." The ship starts up and Dr. Brief routes the coordinates back to where it came from. Goku, Gohan, and Master Roshi set off their journey into the unknown, wondering what they'll seek after next. The last time we left off, the trio set their journey onto Goku's home planet. When they immediately departed from Earth, their training commenced. In their heads, if there's a person that might have a slight problem with, they need to be able to deal with it immediately. That's why they're trying to hone their skills for the upcoming encounter. In the first month, the trio set their room to 5 times gravity. They all struggled, but gained a higher power level. The second month, they went to 10 times gravity. They all trained vigorously. Goku was growing significantly faster than both Roshi and Gohan, but at the end of the month, they all managed to live easily. Goku switched to gravity to 50 times. All 3 of them managed to push through, because the stronger they had gotten, the more for them to withstand the higher levels. And by the 3rd month, they'd grown immensely stronger. Goku's power level was 20,000, Gohan's power level was 80,000, and Roshi's power level was 7,900. The trio only had 4 more months left to train, so they used it to their advantage. For 2 months, they trained on 80 times gravity. They put all their body through immense struggle and pressure to make sure there was no threat that could defeat them. Eventually, they were only 2 months away from Planet Vegeta. The trio was ready for the last stage. They all pushed themselves to 100 times gravity. For 2 months, there were no words spoken, only training. They fell, bled, cried, but it was all for one goal, to make sure no one on Goku's home planet would be able to challenge them. By the end of their trip, Goku's power level was 130,000, Gohan's power level was 51,000, and Roshi's power level was 50,000. The reason Goku's power level is 2 times higher than theirs is because he had many Zenkai boosts while training. When they land, it's the age 714. The trio lands the ship. As they open the doors of the ship, all the scouters of the planet break. This alerts King Vegeta and King Cold. Vegeta sends scouts to check out who made the sudden appearance. He thought it must have been one of King Cold's deployment. King Vegeta and King Cold's squad get there at the same time. The trio start beating up King Cold's force. King Vegeta's deployment back off. Goku and Gohan and Roshi easily beat down every one of Cold's soldiers. King Cold notices this from his ship and flies down. Goku attacks King Cold, but it does little to no damage. King Cold says, "Did you really think you were going to hurt me, boy?" Goku is grabbed by the King Cold and is slammed into the ground. Gohan and Roshi see how powerful this man is and submits to King Cold, knowing their place in society. "Get up! What are you waiting for?" He tells the 3 of them that they'll work for him, and King Cold separates the trio. He makes Gohan and Roshi one of his high-ranked soldiers, while Goku stays on Planet Vegeta. 5 years pass after the fight with King Cold. It's the age 719. Goku doesn't really see Roshi and Gohan that much, only on occasion when King Cold is scouting the planet. They can't really do anything because he's too powerful. One day King Cold came out to Planet Vegeta to have a meeting with King Vegeta. This gave the trio an opportunity to meet up with each other. They taught each other everything they knew, such as learning how to fly, hide their key signature, etc. They trained for a little bit, and even caught up on lost times. But as all good things must come to an end, Roshi and Gohan had to go back to King Cold, and Goku was left once again. This hurts his feelings, not knowing when the next time he'll have a moment to see his father. But then suddenly, Goku thought to himself and remembered what he came to Planet Vegeta to do. He started to look for his father. He asked every Saiyan far and wide if they saw a man with a scar on his face, because that was the last memory Goku had of his father before he was shipped off to Earth. He was sure that the person talking through his ship was his dad. He sat down on a rock wondering what his next move would be. Suddenly he hears kids laughing and playing. A little girl says, "Bardock, you can't catch me!" A little boy responds, "Stop, you're cheating!" Goku looks behind and sees himself, but younger. Well, a Saiyan that looks like him at least. He walks up to the children and asks their names. The boy introduced himself as Bardock, and the other as Gine. This confused Goku, because from what he knows, his father is named Bardock, and the last time he checked, his father was a grown man. So what's going on? Then he remembers what Gohan said when they were bonding. Goku asked Gohan what was the first thing the ship transmitted. What Gohan told Goku was that he heard a girl, and she sounded like she was talking to someone else. But what really stood out in the conversation is that he heard the name Goku, and that's actually where he got the idea for the name. Goku starts to think there's a deeper meaning behind it, and before the trio departed, they made a plan to train in secret to defeat King Cold. The answer that was given to Goku is that there will be a meeting in 3 years concerning a matter very important to the Emperor. Suddenly Goku hears a voice. It starts to laugh. Then someone appears. It's a man with glasses. He introduced himself as Fu. This confuses Goku. Goku asks Fu who is he. Fu tells Goku that he sent him back in time and shows him everything that could have been. Goku sees a white-haired form, a family, and rivals to challenge him. This makes Goku angry at Fu and asks why would he do this, but Fu disappears, nowhere to be seen. Goku starts to train vigorously. He wasn't just training to defeat King Cold, but to kill Fu. Yes, kill Fu. And even decides to take Bardock under his wing. The two both train for the next 3 years. Bardock doesn't really understand what's going on, but knowing that he'll get stronger than Vegeta makes him excited. It's the age 722. Goku and Bardock have grown immensely. They both discovered Zenkai boosts and decide to exploit them. Goku got to the power level of 50 million, and Bardock got to the power level of 10 million. King Cold didn't confiscate their ship, he just kinda left it there, knowing if they did try to leave, he'd find them. So they used the gravity chamber for 3 years honing their skills. Goku taught Bardock everything he knew, like how to fly, how to hide his ki, and even the Kamehameha. Goku looked at Bardock as a little brother, kinda ironic since, that's his father. Eventually the day came when the announcement was held. Gohan and Roshi met up with Goku, and they had a power level of 2 million and 3 million. They didn't have a gravity chamber, When they were going on missions with King Cold, the two got to visit different planets, and on one of those planets, it has a room where they get 2 years of training in 1 day. They stayed in that room for 3 days. The announcement started. King Cold gathered up everyone on the planet and told them that he's having a son in 8 years, and when he releases, he must be treated with the highest of respects. As King Cold is putting out more information, he is suddenly punched in the face by Gohan and Roshi. The king says, "Traitors! I kept you two by my side and this is how you repay me?" King Cold grabs them both by the throat and throws them into the air. He shoots a death beam. Gohan gets hit in the arm, but Roshi wasn't so lucky. He gets hit in the heart. This made Goku angry. Not angry enough for it to be a catalyst to Super Saiyan, but angry enough for him to get a rage boost. Goku and Bardock both start punching King Cold, but it's no use. King Cold kicks Bardock into a wall and grabs Goku by the throat. He says, "For your insolence, you will watch your father die." Goku pleads to King Cold, "Don't do this," but it's no use. King Cold lifts Gohan in the air, similar to what Frieza did to Krillin. Gohan yells Goku's name, but in the blink of an eye, he's exploded. And Goku had to watch the whole thing happen. This doesn't just make Goku angry, but beyond that, he's infuriated. He just watched his father die right in front of him. Goku tells Bardock to leave before he won't be able to control himself. Goku's eyes turn white, and his ki explodes tremendously. His hair turns yellow. King Cold's shocked. He says, I thought that was just a myth, an old folks' tale." King Cold tries to bargain with Goku, but it's no use. Goku grabs King Cold by the horns and breaks his neck, and then rips his head off. Suddenly, Fu appears. He starts clapping, congratulating Goku on his victory. Goku tries to punch Fu, but then is shown the possibility of powers he will have. Goku is falling back on immense power he felt and saw. Goku is still angry and flies into the stratosphere to cool down. He rolls a large ki blast from his mouth. Goku flies down back to planet Vegeta, and what he sees is rebellion. All the Saiyans are attacking everyone who willingly worked for King Cold, and Bardock is leading the attack. Eventually, after a matter of minutes, all King Cold's soldiers are dead. Goku lands and is still in Super Saiyan. Everyone looks at him. Goku's body radiates with energy from what a true Super Saiyan is. King Vegeta bows in reverence. He is way more humble than his descendants. He says, "From now on, this will be your kingdom. You are truly fit to run the Saiyan race." Goku yells, "No! I will not be a king. My stay will not be long after." King Vegeta says, "Well, who will be king then?" Goku points out Bardock. "At the age of 19, he will rule this planet. I will come back to this planet to see if you have honored what I have said." King Vegeta walks up to Bardock and says, "You are now the Prince of all Saiyans." Goku has just said his goodbyes to Bardock. He's wondering what his next move will be. Goku decided to take one of King Cold's ships out into space. He did this so Bardock and the other Saiyans could continue to train in the gravity chamber. Before he left, he told Bardock the secret to going Super Saiyan. The key to this technique is strong anger and sadness. Now don't go looking for something to make you angry. It'll all come in the right time. Goku told Bardock not to show anyone how to do this technique until he was declared king. With everything out of the way, Goku left on his journey to kill Fu. A couple days into the expedition, Fu decided to visit Goku. As Goku's eating dinner, Fu appears right in front of him. "Do you even know where you're going, Goku?" Goku looks up in confusion, wondering what Fu is doing in his ship. Goku jumps up and throws a punch at him, but Fu teleports right behind Goku, asking him to calm down. He tells Goku he just wants to help him out, and after many punches and kicks, Goku eventually settles down. Fu tells him that he can get Gohan and Roshi back. He shows Goku the planet Cereal, and furthermore says the inhabitants of the planet have a Namek, so they're able to have Dragonball as well. Goku tells Fu that this doesn't change the facts, that he's going to kill him one day, telling him that this small gesture only prolongs his death. "Well, I tried." Fu disappears from the ship, leaving Goku to his own devices. Right now, there's only one thing on Goku's mind, and that's reviving Grandpa Gohan and Master Roshi. He places the coordinates and makes his way to planet Cereal. Some time passes, and he eventually gets to the planet. As Goku flies into the atmosphere, his ship begins to get shot by ki beams, and eventually being shot down. Goku flies out of the ship before it eventually drops and explodes. When he lands to see who's shooting at him, he sees a whole bunch of Cerealians pointing their fingers at him. An older man walks up to Goku and asks questions. What is your name? Why are you here? Are you a part of Cold's forces?" "My name is Goku. I'm here to look for these so-called Namekians. I want to wish my father back with the wish orbs." I heard they were here. Everyone lowers their guards. And to answer your last question, I actually killed King Cold. The old man runs up and hugs Goku, telling him thank you. There are tears flowing down his eyes. He goes on to tell Goku that King Cold killed his mother and took his father as one of his soldiers. Goku hugs him back, explaining that he understands the loss of that caliber. Eventually, everyone gets acquainted. A cerulean woman named Wesley takes it upon herself to show Goku around the planet. She takes him to the homes, the arenas, the kitchens, etc. Lastly, she shows him the Namekians. Goku introduces himself to all of them and tells them his story. The Namekians understand his plea and gives him the Dragon Balls. Goku places the orbs on the ground and summons the dragon. He tells the dragon that he wants to wish Gohan and Roshi back. The dragon tells Goku that the duo do not want to be revived. They like living in Otherworld. It's quite peaceful. Goku is upset by this response but understands. His face turns serious and he asks the dragon the location of Fu. The eyes of Tarambo glow. Goku thrilled that he's going to get his wish, but Tarambo says that is beyond my power. Goku is very disappointed. Wesley grabs Goku's face and tells him to make it in his power to find Fu. Goku nods his head and realizes what to wish for. Eternal Dragon Tarambo, I wish for you to show me how to gain power beyond my own, a power that no Saiyan has ever gained in history. Tarambo says, your wish is within my power. Tarambo's eyes glow and Goku's eyes glow too. The dragon shows Goku a crumbled planet, telling him that this is where he'll find his power. Goku jumps in excitement. Finally, I'll gain new power. I thought this was the end, and better yet, it's even power that I can have exclusively to my own. This is perfect. Goku's face suddenly turns to sadness. He realizes that his ship is destroyed beyond repair. It was shot down by the Cerulean military. Wesley tells Goku that she'll get someone to build him a new ship. It'll be the same concept as his last ship. The only difference is that it won't have the unlimited energy like King Cold's ship. And another downside is that it'll take 5 years to get it done. Goku's face brightens up and tells her that's okay, as long as he can get there in his lifetime. Wesley kisses Goku on the cheek, showing her affection for him. She decides to let Goku live with her, since he doesn't have a place to stay. It's the age 724. Eventually Goku and Wesley fall in love. A year later, age 725, they both have children, twins together to be exact. A boy named Gohan and a girl named Milia. One day, as Goku's training with his kids, a cerulean scientist calls him up and tells him that their ship is fully built and is running beautifully. Goku explains to Wesley that his ship is finished, that he's going to be back due time. He kisses Wesley on the lips and tells his children that he'll be back, and will teach them Kamehameha too. With Goku saying his goodbyes to everyone, he soon ventures off into space, looking for the crumbled planet that Tarambo had showed him. As Goku travels through space, he shortly realizes it will be harder than he thought. A couple of months go by and Goku still has no luck. Then suddenly something horrible happens. Goku's ship runs out of energy in the middle of nowhere. Wait, what happened? Did my ship just die? I knew this could have happened. Well, they tried their best. Eventually, Goku becomes encased in space for days, without any more food or water. He is left deprived and eventually passes out. All of a sudden, Goku's ship starts to glow, and then it starts to move as if it's being pushed by something, or someone. The ship ends up on the planet. Eventually, Goku wakes up from the pain. He notices that the ship is not moving, and looks out the window. He's on a planet, and even more so, it's crumbled. Goku jumps in excitement. He almost forgets that he's starving to death. When he walks out, he instantly gets hit with a multitude of delicious smells. Goku runs to the smell as fast as he can. He eventually ends up in front of a pot on top of a fire. As Goku goes to dig in, he is stopped by a man. You might not want to touch that. It's way too hot. Goku stops in his tracks and looks at the man. Well, can I please get a bowl? Please, I'm starving. The man feeds Goku, and he soon after regains his strength. He introduces himself to Goku, telling him that his name is Yamoshi. Yamoshi tells Goku his backstory. It goes a little something like this. Yamoshi as a child always knew there was something different about him. Everyone around him were brutes, constantly battle hungry. Even his childhood friends were the same way. Yamoshi only had one person in his life that was different than anyone else, and that was his mother. She cared and loved for him like no other. She was the kindest Saiyan in history. She raised him to be so powerful he could not be bullied by any of the Saiyan brutes. One day the Saiyan general told Yamoshi that he had to join the army. It was a rule that every Saiyan must join the army at some point in their life. When Yamoshi enlisted, he noticed strange things about his people. From his perspective as a child, it seemed like the Saiyans were expanding their land and providing more for their race. But now that he's in the army, it doesn't seem to be the case. It looked like they were killing and raiding other villages just for the fun of it. There was one rule he hated. If any Saiyan in the military did not meet their quota, they'd be killed as compensation. One day, Yamoshi was raiding a village with his mom. He got so caught up in the battle, that he didn't realize he wasn't saving any enemies for his mom, and as a result of that, she was killed. This action made Yamoshi so furious that he transformed into a Super Saiyan. His power was so immense that he transformed into a Super Saiyan and a Great Ape at the same time. With the burning rage of a Great Ape and a Super Saiyan combined, he killed his whole race. But it didn't stop there. Yamoshi kept going and almost destroyed his whole planet, leaving it in crumbles. Goku looks in excitement. Wow, so you must be really strong. Can we spar? Yamoshi agrees to spar with Goku. They fly up and begin their battle. Goku charges up into a Super Saiyan and throws a flurry of punches at Yamoshi. Yamoshi in base form dodges every punch that Goku throws at him. The battle lasts on for a while. Goku rarely lands punches and is getting beat up pretty bad. It is as if Yamoshi's fighting style is gentle with detrimental force. Goku charges his Super Saiyan even more. He tells Yamoshi he's only using 50% of his power. The battle continues even further. Yamoshi is being pushed back by Goku's strength and eventually loses. Yamoshi gets up and says, "My bones aren't like how they used to be before. This was hard." Goku asks Yamoshi why didn't he just go Super Saiyan. He explains to Goku that if he went Super Saiyan, he would not be able to control that immeasurable power. Yamoshi tells Goku a story about how he was visited by creatures from a different planet. Canassians, he said. The leader had a prophecy that a Super Saiyan would be born, the savior of the multiverse. They thought it would be him, so they tried to train to control his Super Saiyan, but he ended up killing them all in an uncontrollable rage. But before the leader died, he gave Yamoshi the power of future sight and prophecy. Goku asked Yamoshi, "What's prophecy?" Yamoshi sat Goku down and placed his hand on his forehead. What he saw was a Saiyan civil war, dead Ceruleans, Goku's final form, a dimensional war. Yamoshi is falling aback on what he sees. He tells Goku he will train him to the best of his ability. Yamoshi first tells Goku to look at the moon. There's always a full moon in the distance. Goku transforms into a Zaru and is in full control. Yamoshi is surprised that Goku has this much control in this state. It makes training a lot more easier. Yamoshi tells Goku all he has to do is activate his Super Saiyan, but when he does, he has to regain consciousness. As Goku goes into Super Saiyan, he suddenly blacks out. He's in his head. Goku looks around and sees nothing but blackness. But suddenly he hears a voice. It's the voice of Fu. He's transported into Goku's mind. Fu shows Goku the planet Cereal and all the Ceruleans massacred. Goku looks at Fu and asks him who did this atrocity. Fu shows Goku the face of Bardock. He doesn't believe his eyes. Goku gets mad at Fu and throws a punch at him. As the punch was about to connect, Goku is transported out of his mind and regains consciousness. Goku looks around. The last thing he remembers is transforming into a Great Ape Super Saiyan. But now, he's smaller. He's back to normal size. Yamoshi looks at Goku and tells him he did it. That form, that's the one he saw in his prophecies. Goku isn't smiling. He stated that he needs to get back to his planet and check on something, but his ship is broken. Yamoshi shows Goku a technique that allows him to breathe in space. After all is said and done, Goku is saying his goodbyes. He gives Yamoshi a hug. Suddenly the sky turns completely black, but then goes back to normal. When Goku looks around, Yamoshi isn't there. Goku assumes he left after the event happened. He has no time to look for him and leaves for the planet Cereal. When he gets there, it's abandoned and destroyed. There's no one. It's silent, as if no one ever lived there for decades. His worst fear has come to mind, his children or wife being dead. He's starting to believe what Fu showed him. Goku flies over to planet Vegeta. There's nothing there, no Saiyans to be seen or heard. He can't even feel no one's power level. Suddenly, Fu appears to Goku. He tells him that the prophecy has already begun. Hearing this, Goku grabs Fu by the throat. He doesn't understand. He is angry. He asks Fu where his kids and the wife are. Fu teleports out of Goku's hands. Someone seems to be a little angry. You know you've been gone for a long time. Things are different in this new world. What do you mean, new world? How are things different? Fu opens a portal and tells Goku to walk in it. Goku looks at him being very wary of what's going to happen, but he does. When he enters the portal, he sees a standoff against the Ceruleans and the Saiyans, and the leaders of the Saiyans being Bardock, and the leader of the Ceruleans being an adult Gohan. The two both power up into an unknown Super Saiyan state that Goku has never seen before. Goku tries to fly and stop the battle, but is pulled back into his normal reality. He hears a laugh of Fu before he leaves. It's all up to you, Goku. All of a sudden, Goku feels the power level of Bardock and Gohan spike up. He begins to fly to them, ready to fight the battle. What might ensue.